Okay, good evening, everyone. This is it's the second annual High Tide Film Festival for high school students. And my name is Peter Kareiva, and I want to welcome all of you. I want to welcome the judges. We have distinguished judges here. We have some of our board members and supporters. But most of all, I want to welcome the students who made these films, because that's what is going to make this evening so much fun. We had submissions from 22 different schools. And right before I walked over here, I was looking through the list. I think we have at least 13 different high schools from Southern California represented here in the audience. The vision behind this festival is straightforward, simple, and undeniable. And that vision is this: science and data and graphs, what I've spent my life doing, only gets you so far. It's necessary, but it just only gets you so far. To really take science to action and take science to addressing our global problems, you need art and storytelling, because that's what inspires us and that's what catalyzes action. And the melding of science and art, and just the appreciation for what young minds bring to that challenge, is really embodied by the sponsors. And with that, I'd like to invite Alan and Charlotte Ginsburg to come up to the stage, and I have a couple of things to say about them as I give them a plaque. Luckily, I didn't drop it yet. But what this plaque really tells us is that the Ginsburgs have been supporting the aquarium in so many ways for 20 years. And they support science workshops, jazz festivals, this festival, events, and all of their support is really about art and inspiration and youthful minds. And their lives embody that: art and science and fun. And I think it's the fun that makes it so special. And thank you for those 20 years of support. You've been wonderful friends of the aquarium. I'll carry this back so you don't have to drop it.
Thank you. Well, Lady Charlotte and I are enchanted with the Aquarium of the Pacific. By the way, you don't get 20 years for murder one. So I just want to point out that Lady Charlotte has been involved with young people early on, and we both became enchanted with beautiful minds. And these are the people that we have with the High Tide Student Film Festival from all over California that come to the Aquarium of the Pacific, and rightfully so. 70% of the planet is the ocean. We need to really understand the ocean. We understand Mars better than we do mapping our own ocean. It is going to be the source of food, what we call brain food, that beautiful minds need to be able to get humanity where it needs to be and fix the planet. Lady Charlotte and I have been involved with this for years, not only at the Aquarium of the Pacific, but some of the great universities in the area. And we take beautiful minds seriously. They need to be nurtured early on, and they need to be brought to be educated and early on, as I say. And the quicker we're able to recognize who they are, they will give a lifetime of service. A beautiful mind is not limited to 8 hours a day. It works 24/7. And in fact, you can't turn the mind off. It just absolutely continues when you, and sometimes it would be nice if you could turn the mind off, but a beautiful mind does work 24/7. And we've been enchanted with these people for years, and we're so happy to be able to donate to their success. Lady Charlotte?
Thank you, Sir Alan. We're thrilled to be here tonight, and we want to thank Peter Kareiva, our president. He's a scientist, an educator, research. He's brought so many wonderful things to the aquarium, especially for students. And we want to thank Adina Metz, who pulls all this together. I don't know how she does it, really works hard, but thank you, both of you. And we'd like to thank the students and parents here tonight. I know some of you students may get into film or, photography, and it's what's happening now. Everyone learns through film and video and Zoom. And I know Alan and I went to Italy, and we toured the Sistine Chapel and the ceiling, and it was a little hard to see because it was so high up, but we came home and watched it on YouTube, and we saw all the magnificent detail that we really couldn't see when we were there. So video and film is so important in our lives, and education, and the excitement it brings. So thank you to all of you, and enjoy the show.
Okay, well, Alan and Charlotte really do incite creativity and support creativity. And speaking of that, now I get to introduce our, this dynamic duo, our two, they gave themselves that name. I didn't do it. So it's Allie, who is the new director of STEM Pathways, and Callum, who leads our teen programs. And their titles do not do them justice, and you'll soon realize why I say that. Allie and Callum.
Hello, High Tide Student Film Festival! We are so excited to be here and to introduce you to these impressive and inspiring students. We wanted to give you just a little bit of background before we got started. Peter gave a little bit of background about the inspiration behind the film festival, but we wanted to share a little bit of the structure. So our students were asked to complete a 2 to 3 minute film in one of 3 different categories, and we'll dive into those. But again, the goal was that we wanted them to combine art and science and storytelling in a message that was really important to them, and what they created was pretty awesome.
Yeah, so I'm so glad that you are all here with us tonight. It's great to see you all. Loved all of the pictures that we took outside. Loved walking in. It was just an amazing process. So really great job to all of those who planned this today. I wanted to talk a little bit about our judging process. How did these films get here? How did we arrive at our finalists? It was a pretty intense process. I wish I could have been a part of it, but we had to hold our tongues and watch from the sidelines. But the first round of judging happens from our team of Aquarium staff and volunteers. So they're going to be that first eyes that see all of those films first. And then that's going to determine our finalists. And after that, we move on to someone else, which is a lot of amazing folks. I was able to witness that with Allie. But we had Dr. Charlotte Ginsburg and Charlotte Ginsburg. They were here with us, helping us to judge some city council members, representatives from Long Beach Unified School District, and everything. So they were all here today to determine the bronze, silver, and gold. So amazing process. I'm glad that I was able to be a part of it and to
And
see
we have
from
no
the
idea.
side.
We don't know. We don't know. We're with you. We don't know who won. We're going to find out all together. So
No
thank
clue.
you to the judges who participated. Thank you to students. Thank you to the families. We know that these students need support systems of their teachers and their friends and their families to make this happen. So let's get started with our first category, which is local treasures. This was a really interesting and exciting way to see, because there were a couple different takes on how this went. So for the local treasure category, students were challenged to tell the story of a unique place or ecosystem that was special to them. And they could consider what makes something a local treasure and some different ways that they might determine the value of something. It was really interesting to see some of the different takes on this. So while there were a number of films entered, we have 3 finalists, and here they are in no particular order.
jellyfish. Hey, my name's Luke, and I'm a senior in high school. I'm here to talk to you today about the best sea creature, sea otters. Is what I would say if I was lying, because the award for the best sea creature goes to the coolest one out there, the jellyfish. I mean, just look at this guy. But what makes the jellyfish so awesome? Well, to understand that, we're going to need to venture into their territory. Hey look, a jellyfish. Hey Jellyfish Bro, can you come here for a second? So, do you have a name, Jellyfish Dude?
Josh.
Josh the Jellyfish. So, this is Josh, and he's gonna help us discover the importance of the jellyfish. Let's start with a little history on the jellyfish. Jellyfish are the first animals to have developed muscles for swimming instead of just settling for drifting in the water. Jellyfish are also about 500 million years old. Wow, Josh, that makes you pretty darn old.
Actually, average jellyfish only live for about 1 to 5 years. The jellyfish that lived in that day were actually my ancestors. Nowadays, different types of jellyfish will have different lifespans. And multiple factors going into keeping us alive longer. For instance, if we are kept in an aquarium...
In fact, jellyfish are so old that they're about 3 times as old as the dinosaurs.
But why are we jellyfish even important?
What a great question, my invertebrate friend. Well, for starters... where's Josh?
Blub, blub, blub.
Oh. This actually helps to explain my point. Jellyfish are a great source of food for both humans and sea animals like the sea turtle. The number of jellyfish in a given area can help determine the health and overall well-being of the environment they reside in.
Were you trying to make an example out of me?
Nah, I could never.
Get me out of here.
But actually, jellyfish are a huge part in the survival of sea creatures. This is why pollution is such a big problem. Let me explain. Let's take that turtle from earlier. This turtle eats jellyfish as one of its main food sources. So let's say the turtle is swimming about one day, and it spots a jellyfish. As it starts to eat and enjoy its food, it realizes something tastes a little funny about this particular jelly. It takes a closer look at its food, and finds out that it mistook a plastic bag for a jellyfish. This could be deadly for the poor turtle. So, what can we as humans do to protect not only the jellyfish, but all the creatures in the ocean? Well, we can start by cleaning up litter and recycling as much as possible. And remember, any effort can make a huge difference. Even just cleaning up a little bit of trash can save a couple sea animals. Hey, welcome to the credits. I just wanted to take this time to thank the Aquarium of the Pacific for this amazing opportunity. I also wanted to thank you for watching.
We're here at the Santa Monica Pier, a well-known local tourist destination for people in Southern California. It's attracted generations of beachgoers for well over a century now. It's quite popular and attracts thousands of visitors every year, but few people know that despite this area being a true local treasure, just about 2 miles offshore there's a 262-foot shipwreck that hardly anyone has ever heard of. Originally launched as the HMS Mistletoe in 1917, the ship known as the Star of Scotland sailed through incredible adventures as a U-boat hunter disguised as a merchant ship. After the Great War, the Star of Scotland ran cargo before becoming a tourist boat for fishing, gambling, and partying. However, on January 23, 1942, a large storm flooded the Star. It sank to the depths where it remains to this day. There was no conventional shipwreck valuables like gold, gems, or artifacts aboard the Star of Scotland when it sank off Santa Monica, but the wreck boasts a more meaningful treasure. A forest of plants now command its hulking bridge. The deck is coated with coral of every color, and in its elegant ballrooms dance crustaceans and great schools of fish. Some may think that a natural shipwreck should be categorized with other wastes, but as long as the wrecks don't leak toxins into the surrounding ecosystem, introducing a chunk of defunct metal to the seafloor ironically causes great benefits for the community. In a 2020 study, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration found that, quote, artificial reefs function as an effective supplement to natural reefs, and they tend to host similar amounts and varieties of fish as neighboring rocky or coral reefs. The practice of purposely sinking old watercraft to produce artificial reefs is becoming more common. but it's incredible that so many unintentional shipwrecks have created thriving underwater communities on their own. Sitting on the pier, one would never guess there's a huge sunken ship, most of the length of a football field, just offshore. But hidden in plain sight lies an unexpected, thriving marine community. The reef has remained virtually undisturbed and free to grow since 1942, visited only occasionally by recreational divers. It's crucial to truly appreciate the local marine ecosystem around Southern California. Our coast is home to so many treasures, many obvious, like the delightful Santa Monica Pier, but even more unknown, like the hidden reefs just off the coast. Like so many other ships that now rest on the bottom, the Star of Scotland never carried gold or silver, gems or rubies. Its real treasure is the beautiful legacy it leaves behind.
During the Dark Age, a Polynesian god named Takuaka dominated as the guardian of the reef. He was a strong yet jealous god that hungered for power and was the most prominent of the reef guardians. What made Takuaka special was his power to shift into an anga, or shark. He would change into an anga, visiting islands to conquer the other guardians. He traveled from island to island and won against every challenger, no matter how strong his opponent was. Takuaka was told of a powerful feke, or octopus, who was the guardian of the reefs in the Ha'apai Islands. Intrigued by this guardian, Takuaka set out to look for him, being guided by the sounds of the reef. Takuaka arrived and was met with the feke guardian. Takuaka charged towards the feke, but as soon as he got near, the tentacles enveloped Takuaka and squeezed him with great force. Takuaka, on the brink of death, surrendered to the feke. This was the first time he had ever lost a battle. Takuaka desperately promised to not impose harm on anybody in the Ha'apai Islands if he let him live. The feke agreed, and to this day, Takuaka's promise has been carried out. Nobody in Ha'apai has been harmed by any anga, and the harmonious relationship between sharks and humans live on.
How about a round of applause for all three finalists? So different, love them.
Yes.
So when we announce the winners, what we're going to have the students do is come down and join us, and we're going to just have a little chat. It's going to be like a Jimmy Fallon moment, right?
Question and answer session,
It's
yes.
just a chance to get to know them a little bit more.
Exactly.
Because they're so amazing.
Yes.
We should know who these filmmakers are deep down inside. So students, when we announce your name, please come and join us.
Okay, so our bronze award will be going to Hidden in Plain Sight by Liam Wright.
From South Pasadena High School.
Welcome,
Hello,
Liam. Let's
Liam.
see.
Here you go.
Hello.
Okay, Liam, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, okay? Is that okay with you?
Of course.
Okay, great. Okay, so you had a favorite shot in your film. Can you just tell us a little bit about how you got that shot?
Absolutely. I went out to the Santa Monica Pier with my dad, and I used my drone to take some aerial footage. It was really cool. My drone luckily withheld the high winds that were up there, and it got a cool, stable shot. And the other one that I was really proud of was a Photoshop that I made of the whole shipwreck across a football field, and I measured it out so proportionally it would be correct for the amount of yards in the football field, so you could really see the whole size. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's amazing. Now, how did you even discover that that was there?
That's actually a really good question. So my uncle is a diver in the local area, and in fact he used to volunteer here at the aquarium, going into the tanks and cleaning. And so I said, wouldn't it be cool to do a project about a shipwreck? And he said, yeah, you should look into the Star of Scotland. And I did, and it was really interesting. So.
Wow, I did not know that. That was not planned. Okay. Awesome, though. But before we let you go, is there anyone here that you would like to thank, or even, at home, anything like that?
Of course, I would like to thank our sponsors and also my family. Thank you to my sister Allegra.
Awesome. Give him another round of applause. Thank you so much. Alrighty.
Great job, Liam.
Awesome job. Yes. Okay, so we have our next award, our silver. Let's see. And it is Just Jellyfish by Luke Steinman.
From Serrano High School.
Luke. You got me, friend. I was here, I was rolling, I was crying. You are quite the comedian. I'm just gonna say that. Okay, so you mentioned that jellies are underappreciated. Just dive into that a little bit more.
Yeah, so most people, when they think of jellyfish, they just think, they're there. They don't think any harder. I thought it would be kind of a funny subject if I made them worth caring about, worth, thinking about. So, I did my research, but as I went in deeper, I found that, they're actually really important to, why we should clean up the oceans and, why pollution is such a big deal.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely a problem, and you displayed that well for everyone to see. I think you did an amazing job with that. You really did. Now, my next question is this. I'm not going to judge you for your answer, okay? What is your favorite jellyfish or sea jelly species?
I'm going to have to, I don't know. I like a lot of them. So I think it's hard to choose a favorite.
Okay. Well, my favorite is the moon jelly. So if you get a chance afterwards, go out there and see if you can find the moon jelly for me. You might call me basic, but I love that jelly, okay? Love it. Okay, great. Before we let you go, is there anyone here you would like to thank?
I would like to thank my parents. They've always been very supportive of what I do. And so.
Nice. Is that it? Everyone else?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. And the jellies, right?
Thanks, Luke.
Awesome. Thank you so much,
Great
Luke.
job, Luke.
Okay, and then we have our gold award, which goes to Takuaka, Claire, and Kylie. Come on down, Kylie. Kylie, congratulations. It's so good to see you up here. Okay, tell us just a little bit about the process about making this film, Takuaka.
Well, I'm actually part of this really cool thing that's actually at the Aquarium of the Pacific called the Teen Climate Council, and I'm in the social media committee. And me and Claire were just brainstorming about which categories we should do. Like the deadline was almost due, and I was like, okay, what are we gonna do? And then I was like, local treasures. I mean, I feel like that's really easy, but then I was like, maybe we should go a more unconventional route. And then I started thinking about just in general, and my mind wandered, and I was like, AAPI month, and I was like, oh, maybe we should try and talk about something niche and more specific. And so that's sort of what really inspired the film and made that vision. So.
I loved it. I think it sent chills down my spine, always watching it. Is there anyone here that you would like to thank as well?
I'd like to thank my parents, obviously, because they always support me. I'd like to thank you, Callum, because you always support me here at the Aquarium. And then obviously I'd like to thank Claire, even though she can't be here because she's sick. The audacity. But yeah, so those are the people, and also my cousins who allowed me to utilize their drone like the first film. Like I have no drone experience. I don't know why they would trust me, but yeah, I'd like to thank them too. So, and thank everyone who's here. Thank you.
And before we go, we'd also like to thank our participants in that film who have driven all this way to come and see it. They are standing there. They are some of the Tongan dancers and the singers, actually, who sang in that film. They're kind of up there in the back there. So just wanted to give you a great thank you, Malo, right?
Actually, all of the singing in that film, we didn't get it from an audio like recording or like a song. Those are their voices. So like all that soprano and like all the harmony, those are them. So I'd like to thank them personally. Like they really added to the emotional part of the film. So thank you so much, so much, so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Let's give all three categories another giant round of applause.
Our 3 winners for the local treasures. Local treasures.
Awesome. Okay, so we're going to segue right into our next session, which is ocean innovation. And like Dr. Ginsburg was saying, you know, youth have very beautiful minds, and we need to harness those beautiful minds to start innovating new ways for a better future, right? Mm-hmm. And so this category is kind of dedicated to that, is to creating a new future with what we already have existing in our world today and what we might be able to invent and come up with and create. And I think that the teens here are such a great example as to who is going to do that work, putting those things together. So,
and
yes.
again, another really diverse take. Some people talked about innovations that exist and were inspiring to them, or some came up with their own. Yes. So without further ado, let's watch the 3 finalists in our Ocean Innovation category.
Alright, so wait, what happened?
So you remember how I went to that beach cleanup yesterday, right? Mm-hmm. So they gave me this grabber claw, and I was trying to do my best to pick up as much debris as I could because, you know, non-point source pollution is horrible for the environment.
Of course.
And so I was just doing my best, and then suddenly, I just couldn't believe it. I got a cramp.
So, as my life was flashing before my eyes, I had an epiphany. I'd call TIRVUT, and I'd get them to fix the problem.
We here at the Institute for Reforming Vaguely Usable Things present to you the Common Grabber Claw. Now it works, but frankly, it is one of the worst inventions to ever darken our doorstep.
Grabber claws are essential to volunteer beach cleanups, but they can be uncomfortable to use for longer than half an hour or an hour at a time, and can be difficult to pick up small debris with them.
Thank you, Carl. We tried other methods to replace the grabber claw, including vacuuming, pitching machines, a stern talking to, but we couldn't get rid of the grabber claw entirely.
Here at TIRVUT, we care not only about the health of our local beaches, but about the hard-working volunteers who help keep them clean. Using cutting-edge research and design techniques, my team and I redesigned the grabber claw to create one that is not only easier to use, but more comfortable than existing market solutions.
We took inspiration from semi-related patents, expert feedback, and sock puppets to present to you the Pelican.
Over 7 months, we researched, designed, and constructed a working prototype of our solution to the challenges of manual beach cleanup. After dozens of initial concepts, over 100 3D design revisions, and several physical mock-ups, we created our final design, which combines a traditional grabber claw with a sieve scoop for filtering fine particulate trash from sand, along with a completely new grip and fabric cuff for improved comfort and effectiveness of use.
We believe that our design's ease of manufacturing, assembly, and use makes it promising as an accessible way to help human volunteers make the most of their effort to combat coastal pollution.
We hope that our invention not only solves this problem, we also hope that it encourages others to go and make their own inventions to solve problems that they feel strongly about.
Do we know when
No, I don't think so.
Okay, yeah, don't make eye contact.
The ocean takes up about 71% of Earth's surface, and despite being only 5% explored, the life underneath flourishes. Our innovation is called the Batty Ray. Under the ocean, automatic underwater vehicles, or AUVs, have been deployed across the world to study and explore more of our oceans. These crucial units are responsible for collecting underwater data, surveying deep-sea terrain, and sampling the water. People like oceanographers, marine scientists, and even the Navy rely on this technology in order to improve their understanding of Earth's oceans. However, an issue that is recurring in AUVs is limited battery life that affects the range of the vehicle, which limits its mission, or the issue that has required the need of manpower to recover these vehicles in order to redeploy them when they run out of battery. Our team has designed a solution to that problem. Using 3D modeling technology, we have constructed a device we call the Batty Ray. The Batty Ray is a recharge station with two grooves for easy landing and takeoff, making the design resemble a bat ray. It is attached to a platform on the ocean floor that can power up to 2 UAVs through wireless charging. Wireless charging is a concept that has been under research internationally in the last several years by the scientific community and the US Navy. As to how the Batty Ray is to be powered, we have come up with 3 options. Option 1. If the Batty Ray is deployed near the shore, then it can be connected to a power with fiber optic cables. Although it's not the easiest to deploy, it could prove useful in areas near the shore that are being studied, such as coral reefs and regular aquatic life. Option 2. The Batty Ray could become self-sufficient with already existing technology being developed, such as solar-powered buoys. The buoys has solar panels which will gather the sunlight and store it with the use of the cable down to the Batty Ray. Option 3. The Batty Ray can be refitted to include underwater turbines that would generate energy using the ocean currents. Underwater turbines, however, rely on specific conditions to meet the power demand. When we innovated this recharge station, we imagined a world where the Batty Ray would be deployed along the routes of AUVs, where whole networks of Batty Rays would provide constant sources of power for research AUVs to remain deployed in the field, increasing the efficiency and its yield of data. Our goal was to help scientists in their struggle for conservation, so that people like us could be able to continue appreciating the oceans.
Hi, I'm Davey. I'm 16, a sophomore in high school, and I want you to help me save the oceans. Yeah, sure, it's just a lake, but gas is really expensive right now. Putin, so just bear with me, alright? As you may have noticed, there's a lot of plastic floating around in our oceans, and through our neglect and lack of foresight, we are responsible for every piece of it. This plastic has caused the deaths of countless sea creatures, as well as the destruction of many of their natural habitats. My dream is to use mankind's ability to innovate to solve this problem before it's too late. One piece of remarkable technology that's being used to clean up our oceans is the sea bin. This over-engineered coffee filter on a stick is designed to be installed in almost any marina or seaport. It pumps water through itself, filtering out oils, microplastics, and capturing large debris in the process. Its resilient design allows it to run 24/7, only requiring periodic checks for cleaning and emptying. Next up, we've got the Interceptor. This puppy gets permanently installed near the estuary of a river and features a floating barrier that redirects trash into the main unit, a completely solar-powered conveyor belt that feeds into floating dumpsters so that the trash can be tugged away and properly disposed of. Finally, we've got the star of our show, an 800-meter-long floating net that I like to call the Splendid Vendor, Change Inventor, Repeat Offender, Trash Suspender, No Surrender, Ocean Defender, or as its creators like to call it, Jenny. This giant net gets slowly tugged between two boats, picking up all sorts of ocean-dwelling junk along the way. The currents eventually push it all to a secondary collection net at the rear, which is regularly emptied and sorted through. In fact, this method works so well that on a trial run, it was able to collect 3.8 tons of plastic in just a couple of weeks. Now that's innovation. Now, this technology is certainly exciting, but more needs to be done to keep plastic out of the oceans in the first place. Take responsibility for all the unnecessary waste that you create, and try to cut back as much as you can, even if it's only by a couple %. Also, next time you're at the ocean, try and find a few pieces of junk to pick up. It's the least that you can do for the ocean that's fed you, transported you, and given you half of the oxygen that you've ever breathed. So join me, please. Let's invest not only our money, but our creativity and innovation so that we can solve this problem soon. Scientists have been telling us for decades that stabilizing marine diversity is critical to human well-being, yet here we are, still in the early stages of cleanup. I know that we have what it takes to solve this issue. All we need now is the initiative. Hey, maybe it could be you that invents our next great cleanup technology and leads us to our ultimate goal, an unsoiled ocean.
Okay, everybody, can you give those finalists another big round of applause? Such a great job. I really think so.
I love it.
Yes,
I love it.
Such a great job. Okay, let's get into our...
Well, now we get to find out who the winners are. So first up, our bronze winner in the Ocean Innovation category is the Batty Ray, Rocco Leonuzzi, Eric Louie, and Ethan Louie from Cerritos High. Come on down. All right. I had the chance to talk to you guys a little bit before, and I know you were super excited for this very moment. Who was going to take the other one? Oh, here we go. Don't all jump at once. I love it. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to say was I absolutely loved the name, the Batty Ray. I thought there was so much amazing stuff in your video, but it seemed like you worked really well together. Actually, we're going to step forward into our light just a little bit, so come on up and join me. How was it working all together? There was 3 of you, and it seemed like a really seamless project. Tell us about your collaboration.
Oh, well, basically, we all did our strengths. He did the animation and the 3D modeling, while I wrote the script and focused on design. And Rocco did all the editing and the voiceover.
Awesome. Well, it really came all together. It seemed like one seamless project. So tell me a little bit about that animation. Have you done that before? Is that a new challenge for you?
I've been interested in animation 3D modeling since I like video games and I do want to make video games, so I just, yeah.
I know a lot of people inspired by video games. That's all right. I also understand you were inspired by the Mayflower autonomous ship. So tell us about what you learned in your research about that.
Yeah, that was me. First, we're looking at ocean innovations, and that's the first one I saw, and I thought it was the most important. It was basically an AUV, well, it was a surface vessel, and it was going back and forth, focusing on research, and then I went to focus on AUVs, and then eventually I went to the charger for AUVs.
Awesome. So what's next? How are we going to bring the Batty Ray to life? Are you ready for that next step? Maybe after summer vacation?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Anything you'd like to say? Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Sure. Thank you to the sponsors who came out today. Thank you for the hosts for hosting this for every single one of us. And thank you to my dad who brought me here today. Yeah.
Excellent. All right, round of applause for the Batty Ray. There you go. Thank you, guys. I feel like there's a future for the Batty Ray in ocean exploration.
I
Just
see
saying.
it. I see it. Manifesting it, right?
Manifesting, putting it out in the universe. Next up, our silver award winner in the ocean innovation category is An Unsoiled Ocean, Davy Schneider from Serrano High School. Davy, come on down. Oh, I forgot Davy's mic.
No worries.
Here you go. Hi, Davy.
Hi there.
Here you go.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Davy. So, Davy, you were here last year as well.
I was, yes.
So, anything different this year compared to last year?
My style of filmmaking has kind of remained the same, though I did gain a lot more experience from doing it last year, so it was a bit easier this year. But it was all in all the same fun experience, and I'm just glad that I got to be here a second time.
You are a really comfortable public speaker. You get on that camera and you have this really wonderful presence. Is that something you want to keep doing in life? Is that something you want to explore?
Well, I'm very used to being on a stage, as I have been my entire life. So I definitely enjoy speaking in front of people, though, like I'm sure we all feel, it is difficult at times. So yes, I definitely think that if there is a message to be spread, which of course there is always a message to be spread, that if you have an ability to spread that message in a way that can reach folks, that you should do so. So I definitely enjoy that, and I definitely look forward to continuing doing so.
Awesome. We look forward to hearing your messages as they come. Any last minute thank yous besides the coffee to anybody else?
Yes, of course. Well, you know, I started this very late, so I had to stay up all night multiple times to try and get this to work. I definitely like to thank my dad, though unfortunately he can't be here, because he inspired me to do this last year, and he bugged me enough to do it again this year. So I'm glad that I took it. I'm glad that I took his advice and went and did this again. And yeah, that's about it.
We'll take it. Thanks so much, Davey.
Thank you.
All right, that just leaves our gold winner in the Ocean Innovation is the Pelican Concept to Coast, Joanna Escobar and Stephen Lau Robles from Sado Academy in good old Long Beach. Long Beach Unified in the house. Come on down. We're going to stand right here in the light. Hello, hello. Hey. I love this. I have to say, the second time I watched, I found the little googly eye, and I didn't see that the first time.
I didn't know you didn't see it.
Oh my gosh.
I should have told you.
I was like, did you see the googly
It was there.
eye?
Yeah, no, yeah, it was there.
It was wonderful. So you both said that this was part of a bigger school project. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, at our school, we have a capstone course by Project Lead the Way called Engineering, Design, and Development. And for Engineering, Design, and Development, we decided to solve a problem, and that problem we created solutions for, and those solutions and the process of creating those solutions took us throughout the entire rest of the school year.
That's great. So you had already created it, and then you had an opportunity to present it in film. Look at that synergy. Love it. You also used a couple different strategies in your filmmaking, right? And it was sort of funny, but it was also serious, and it looked like almost like a parody and a documentary. Was that on purpose? Did you try to do that?
Yes, absolutely. Joanna, who did the fabulous screenwriting that ended up being this video, we had come up with the idea that, yeah, it would be kind of a parody of like product release videos and also documentaries, say, about some innovation in technology that had already been done. And so we wanted to kind of ride the line between humor and presenting the stuff that we were really proud of putting together. And we think it turned out really well.
I think it did too. Excellent. Any thank yous? Anybody to say thank you to that's here at the audience, or last words?
I would like to say thank you to my parents for always supporting me. I would also like to say thank you to just all the faculty at Sado. Thank you very much for always supporting us and for being patient with us as we filmed all over campus.
Yeah, Ms. Coleman, who's in the audience here, and Mr. Perez and Mr. Mills, who are great advisors for us at home. Thank you so much.
And
Great. Thank
to
you
the
so
class.
much, you guys. Congratulations. Oh. All right, let's have one more round of applause for all of the finalists in our Ocean Innovation category.
So our next film category is about coral reefs. Coral reefs are very special to me as well. But think of them as very biodiverse cities, which kind of means that there's a lot of different species that can live together in one place. That's very special in the ocean because it's huge, and if there's a place for everyone to get together to kind of party and bamba and chill with the, So if that's the case, we want to protect those places as much as we can. And so these videos inspired us to do that, and they're going to inspire many others to do that as well. So I really have a soft spot for this one because it's just so important for us, especially here at the Aquarium of the Pacific. We value our coral reefs. If you ever get a chance to check out our tropical exhibit upstairs, please do. Maybe you can see them live and in person. But,
All right, without
yes.
further ado, let's see the 3 finalists in our coral reef category.
Hey, my name's Coral. Yeah, I know. Coral. Thanks, Mom and Dad. So unique. At least my name is Sea Slug. She's so sluggish. But speaking of myself, did you know I'm actually made up of a bunch of microscopic animals called polyps? Check it out. Aren't I amazing? Not to brag, but I support over 25% of all marine organisms. You heard right. Yeah, 25%. I'm still amazing. And if that wasn't enough, you know when more water comes from the sky and you hear... I think you guys call that a storm? Well, guess what? I help provide you guys shoreline protection also. You're welcome. By the words of my wise friend, Maui. It takes about 10,000 years for a coral reef to form, and only a few careless moments for it to be gone. They grow 0.3 to 2 centimeters per year, and branching coral grows 10 centimeters annually, and only relying on photosynthesis. But this doesn't have to be their fate. We can still help Coral and her friends live a long, healthy, and colorful life. It only takes a few small changes to help keep the ocean thriving, and it all starts with you. And me, of course. Well, maybe enough about me. This world wouldn't be as colorful without people like you. That's why we're helping you and your families develop natural cures for diseases including cancer, because the world is a better place when we all work together.
It's a great day to be in the Mafia.
Yeah, you said it, boss.
The plan's going swimmingly, no pun intended. Once those divers create the perimeter around the coral reefs, we'll harvest all of the coral off the coast of beautiful, sunny Florida.
But I hate Florida, boss.
Well, I hate you. Once we get our mitts on all of that beautiful coral, we'll sell it for insanely high prices and be stupid rich.
McGee, I got good news and bad news for you. The good news is you and your partner have a new assignment.
But I don't have a partner. I'm one of those lone wolf type guys.
And therein lies the bad news. I've assigned a new partner for you.
No.
And he's a rookie.
No.
And he's the lowest scoring cadet at the FBI Preparation and Readiness and Training School.
No!
Can you stop saying no? These are thin walls. He's right outside. He can hear your disappointment. You know how hard that must be for Emmanuel? Emmanuel's your new partner. Emmanuel, come on in. And that's everything we know about the Mafia's secret plan to take all of the coral from the Florida coast and sell it for a lot of money.
I'm on it, Chief. I will do everything in my power to save that coral.
I too am on it. I don't get it. Why are we tasked with this? Are the coral reefs so important that the FBI must get involved?
I've never heard someone so foolish. The coral reef are home to the majority of animal species in the ocean. They're not only under attack by the mafia, they're under attack by humans. Let me ask you, how was traffic this morning? You think it's a mild inconvenience for you? Well, those CO2 emissions are bleaching coral. You're murdering them, killing them every day when you drive to work. It's not just the mafia, it's you, it's me, it's traffic that is attacking them. This is not just FBI, this is for the entire world, all of people to get together and protect the coral reef.
Oh golly, I guess I never thought of it like that. I promise I will never undermine the protection of the ocean or its environment ever again.
Who says, oh golly? This is why I don't have a partner.
Guys, our satellite system that tracks bad guys so we don't have to just found the secret hideout of the mafia. I need you to get there ASAP.
On it!
See, all I have to do is give word to the divers on the other side of this walkie-talkie that I want them to start digging up the coral reefs.
Wow, that's it, boss. There's no way this plan can fail. Ever.
Don't say that! You're gonna jinx the whole thing!
Oh, boss, I'm sorry.
You know, next time you should think twice before messing with the coral reefs.
I couldn't have said it better myself. You know, I think I'm gonna like this partner thing.
Swishy Fishy was the happiest little fish in the ocean. He grew up with his two loving parents in a beautiful coral reef. He excelled in all of his studies and graduated from Codbridge University. You may even say he was quite the sophisticated fish. But one of his favorite things in his life was the coral. It sang sweet melodies to him and brought him happiness. Now Swishy has settled down with the missus and their two little fries. Their life couldn't be happier. But Swishy's mood began to change. He supposed it could be a midlife crisis. He became more irritable in the light of his vibrant home of the coral starting to fade. The coral became weak and no longer sang. They seemed overwhelmed, even stressed that they couldn't sing. Maybe we should move, the missus suggested, and Swishy agreed, because their food was becoming scarce and a change of scenery could do him some good. Swishy and his family packed up their bags. As they began to move, he looked back longingly at his former home. So many memories were made there, but something was changing. Things were getting warmer, and the environment was getting bad. Could it be those humans and their activities? As Swishy and his family were swimming along, they could not find a home. Let's just keep swimming, Swishy persisted, and wait, now this must have a happy ending. It appears it has not been written yet. I suppose it's our job to give Fishy, among other sea life, a happy ending. We must make the coral sing again. But what can we do? First off, you can wear a sunscreen that has a reef-friendly formula. Ingredients in certain sunscreens can damage coral. Next, if you scuba dive or snorkel, you should avoid coming in contact with reefs because they are so delicate. So when anchoring your boat, just look for sandy bottoms on the ocean floor. Finally, remember to reduce, reuse, and recycle. Debris of trash, especially plastics, in the ocean can be harmful, so it's important to recycle and to reuse what we already have. It's also important to dispose of trash properly so it doesn't go into the ocean. There are so many ways you can help, and you can learn from so many places, like the Aquarium of the Pacific in their newly reimagined Tropical Pacific Gallery. Coral reefs, nature's underwater cities. Fishy is hopeful that we can make his home better for his family and fellow sea life. Do your part in easing the coral's stress and giving their lives back. Help the coral sing.
Awesome. Everybody, can you put your hands together one more time for all of those amazing films? Great job. Great job.
And the winner of the Bronze Award in the Coral category is Kayla Dang Martinez from Long Beach Poly, also Long Beach Unified. Come on down, Kayla. congratulations.
Thank you.
So I understand that you are interested in voice acting, and
Yes.
this was sort of an opportunity to practice that.
Yeah.
Is that still something you'd like to do?
Yeah, I got into voice acting when I started
We're gonna
watching.
have you just hold it a little. There you go. Perfect.
I got into voice acting when I started watching anime, and then I got very inspired by it because I see that they can bring characters to life with using their voice, and I wanted to do that with this film.
Great, and I know you did a lot of research too. So was there any information that you learned about corals that was sort of most interesting or most unexpected?
That they die so quickly. They can start bleaching when the temperature drops, just like below 2 degrees or higher than 2 degrees, yeah.
That's good. Yeah, they're so delicate.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, anybody you want to say thank you to? Any last words before we let you go?
I want to say thank you to my Uncle Brian for providing all the tools for me to make this film, and my family for supporting everything, and the Aquarium of the Pacific for giving me this opportunity.
Well, we're glad you're here. Thank you so much, Kayla, and
Thank you.
congratulations.
Okay, and our second award, our silver award, goes to Cooper Olson from Providence High School. Come on down, Cooper.
What's that one called again? That's the Mafia, the Coral Reef Protection.
Yes, Coral Reef Protection. Yes.
Cooper, come on down.
Cooper, my friend, I have some questions for you. This film was funny. I'm just going to be the one to say it.
Thank you.
First of all, before we begin, give us a repeat of that iconic laugh we heard in that film. Just kidding, I'm not going to make you do it. Is that okay? Is that okay?
Yes.
All right, good, good, good. Well, what was your favorite part in putting that whole film together?
My favorite part was, that's tough. I made a separate version of the film for fun, just for my own personal enjoyment, where the mafia goon, everything's like almost exactly the same, except he's holding a big old bag of Sun Chips, which is my favorite chip, and I call that the Sun Chip cut. That's my favorite part.
Say that louder for me.
The Sun Chip cut.
The Sun Chip cut. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here, folks. All right, the Sun Chip cut. Can't make that up if I wanted to, right? Love it. Okay, my next question. Now, we always talk about how, the brilliant the films are. They were brilliant, right? But we never talk about how difficult it can be. What do you think was the hardest part in making that film?
The hardest part about making it was, I procrastinated filming, and I shouldn't have done that, because then I had to, I edited it the weekend before it was due, and because of that, I had to edit it at my home, and I didn't have access to the computers at my school where I was going to do it, because that has Adobe Premiere Pro, and that's very good, and I had to do it on iMovie, which I do enjoy iMovie, but it's not as good, and that was difficult.
Okay, but as long as we don't just, we just don't tell anybody, right? Okay, yeah, we won't tell anybody. That last part, we'll rewind it. Okay, awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
perfect,
bad.
perfect, perfect. Well, thank you so much. Now, is there anyone you would like to thank in the audience before we go?
Yeah, I want to thank my actors. I got Ryan Santia, Alex Swift, Sam Thornton, and my marine biology teacher, David Charles Bird. He was the FBI chief.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Can you give him one more round of applause?
I want to search for the Sun Chip cut.
Me too.
Coming soon, right? All right, and our gold winner in the Coral Reef category is from St. Anthony High School here in Long Beach, Kimberly Miller. Help the coral sing. Hi, Kimberly. Here you go. Congratulations. Here, I'll have you go over there for continuity. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So I understand that you're really interested in puppetry.
Yes.
Tell me a little about that.
So it all started in 4th grade when it's been my whole life really, because my mom is a huge fan of the Muppets and just the Jim Henson Company, and I really have her to thank for starting my passion for it. But I did a presentation on Jim Henson in 4th grade, and I got to dress up like him, which was fun. And ever since then, I was like, oh, I really want to do this as a career. So hopefully in the future, I can work at the Jim Henson Company or
or the Aquarium of the Pacific. We have puppeteer.
I love that.
Just saying.
Yeah, I've seen that before. I'd love to do that.
We'll talk a little bit later about that. Maybe we'll work on a program. That's wonderful, and I love that you were able to integrate that into the film. So if you were able to, so some animals are a little bit more complicated to create as puppets, but if you had an unlimited budget and you were to recreate your film, would there be an animal you really wanted to create a puppet of, like that you would love to bring to life in a puppet?
Oh, I'd love to just any sea creature. I mean, if I could make Swishy Fishy kind of like more scale oriented and maybe some like airbrush to like highlight some features of that, but I'd love to make him like really vibrant because he was just a little fluffy guy. But if I could remake that, I'd probably remake the fish to be more vibrant and eye-catching, and I'd love to do that.
Love it. Well, thank you so much. Anybody you want to thank? Any last words?
Oh, yes, please. I'd like to thank my ocean science teacher, Mr. Berlin, who's at St. Anthony High School, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him, and I really appreciate all the support. I'd like to thank the moderator of the puppetry club at my school, Mrs. Stepp. She is a huge supporter of all my creative endeavors, so thank you, Mrs. Stepp. And I'd like to thank my family, my friends. They are huge supporters of my creative process, and thank you so much. And I'd like to thank the Aquarium for hosting this and for giving me the opportunity to create more of a audience and help me spread my word, help me spread my word about coral and the conservation efforts because it's very important.
Well, we're lucky to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Kimberly. All right, how about a round of applause for all of our coral reef winners? I know what you're thinking. What a great night. They were so fun. It's time to go home. No, it's not time to go home. We cannot let you go until we share a few more films because there were so many incredible participants that we wanted to share a few more accolades. So we are going to show you 2 more films, and these are our staff pick category winners. Now, students, after your films are shown, we're going to have you come on down and get recognized. But join me in congratulating the Riverine Revolution and Belmont Shore Hidden Treasures for being our staff pick category winners. And here they are.
This right behind me is the Pacific Ocean. Sitting in this vast bed of water exists a gyre, brimming with garbage and plastics in what we know as the Pacific Garbage Patch. While many know of its existence, quite few know that only 20% of its trash come from things like fishing nets, lost gear, or on-sea equipment. The other 80% is made up of things like food wrappers, disposable masks, and plastic bottles. And that's the least of it. But where does all this trash come from? Well, it comes from our rivers, just like this one. The United Nations have noted that 78% of the ocean's plastics flows from rivers, but from just 1% of the rivers. Annually, waterways emit more than 1 million tons of trash. The problem has become so severe that some rivers have even caught on fire due to the sheer amount of pollution. So, what can we do about this? The easiest way is to manually clean up and filter the world's rivers. But that in of itself presents another problem. Where would we find the people and manpower necessary to do such a thing? This problem has been answered by machines like the Interceptor. Made by the Ocean Cleanup Project, it is designed to collect trash from the mouth of rivers, streams, and waterways. By targeting the issue at the source, this garbage-eating robot is able to reduce the constant inflow of trash. And if we eliminate the input, we can eliminate the standing stock. By extending a long 1.5 foot deep barrier across a predetermined river, the Interceptor is able to redirect the flow of garbage, while also avoiding marine life. With the help of the current, the trash then flows into a conveyor, where it is distributed into bins and later sent for disposal. The best part, all of this is completely run on renewable energy, meaning that the 220,000 pounds of trash this robot collects per day doesn't further pollute the environment, which is a major concern, considering that this environment continually suffers catastrophic damage. But as we advance the technology, we are presented with a glimmer of hope for the future. Organizations like the Ocean Cleanup display the many possibilities innovation presents to revert the damage this sees. It is and always has been our responsibility to preserve the environment so future generations can experience the same natural beauty we have for years to come.
Along the southern coast of California lies a unique treasure that fosters connections and houses memories to thousands of Californians. Belmont Shore. This coastal neighborhood on the tip of the Long Beach Peninsula is where we looked upon the sunset with our families as children and dreamed of treasures to be found while our youthful excitement for life swelled inside of us like the tide that licked our toes against the sand.
As we grew up, we traveled its numerous bike paths, were inspired by the welcoming feel of local shops, and sparked friendships. Because Belmont Shore is not just a place, but a community that surges with diversity and adventure, the way its marine communities mingle with rushing leatherback turtles, flowing stingrays, and lively sea lions. Our education about the importance of the beach begins with the sightings of these majestic animals, where we are inspired to ask questions and uphold the sacredness of their environments. Besides providing an environment that fosters communal growth, the ecosystem beneath the shore, such as the kelp forest and calico bass, contribute to clean air and the food we eat.
The water draws us together and supports a vibrant community, livened through spontaneous volleyball games, speeding kayaks, wistful rollerblading excursions, and playful swims. In addition to being one of the most family-friendly and dog-friendly beaches in Southern California, Belmont Shore also invites romance, as gondolas are a popular sight flowing through the canals. The bustling Belmont Pier, where anglers mostly catch mackerels, has sparked strong community bonds between fishermen since the 60s.
Despite its community and the complex aquatic life, the beach environment is often taken advantage of, as people contribute to the influx of trash, contaminating our beloved aquatic species habitats and posing threats to their endangerment, while also dirtying our sandy shores. Ocean pollution caused by fuel emissions and hazards posed by oil refineries have contributed to the ocean acidification, which harms Belmont Shore's vast algae and seagrass populations. However, the Belmont Shore experience instills innovation within its community, with initiatives put in place by the Aquarium of the Pacific, among other programs, to educate many generations and take action through conservation.
Belmont is beyond a golden coin. It is a trove filled with different treasures, extravagant sights, glistening tides, valuable bonding opportunities, and rich diversity. The alluring beach center that Belmont Shore houses depends on the constant pulses of water that lies at the doorsteps of thousands of family homes in its community. To wash the rust off of this hidden treasure, we need to collaborate in order to unveil the sparkling riches that lie beneath. Think about the future generations who should have the same warm memories of the beach. Because as much as we pull the tide pulls us together. Belmont Shore leads us through life and calls us to adventure, to community, and to irreplaceable memories.
Two staff pick films. If we can have the filmmakers from both of those come on down and be recognized. There you go. And I'm going to have the 6 of you hang out here for just a second because we have a few more folks that we're going to bring down to join you, right?
Yes, we have some more filmmakers that we want to bring down too. We have some. If you hear your film called, please just come all the way down into the light, okay? We want to catch you in 4K, as the kids would say nowadays. Catch you in 4K. Okay, so A Better Tomorrow.
Come on down.
Come on down, A Better Tomorrow.
Oh, I think he may not be able to be here today.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, Matt's
okay. Ocean Innovation, Oil Spills. You're here today, come on down, perfect. Great, great, great. The coral crisis. The coral crisis. Oh, there he goes. Oh. Be kind to otters. Be kind to otters. Oh, there she goes. And then last but not least, coral reefs, protectors of the sea. Coral reefs, protectors of the sea. There they come down. Maybe if you all scoot this way so that we can get a light. We got to catch you in that 4K glow, right? Amazing.
Let's do one more round of applause for our staff pick and our honorable mention winners. All right. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Thank you for being here. And we're going to have you head on up, have a seat. Now we're done.
We're done.
All right, okay. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Congratulations to all the filmmakers. Yes. Keep being filmmakers and storytellers and innovators. Thank you so much, Dr. Allen and Charlotte Ginsburg. Thank you to the families that supported. Thank you for putting up with us for this little period of time. I had a blast. It was fun.
I did too.
We're going to pass it back over to Dr. Peter Kareiva.
You can see why we were lucky to have them as MCs and not me. But they are really terrific, and they do inspire the kids. And it's been a terrific evening. And you know, every time last year it had the same effect on me. The effect this has on me is makes me feel like I'm not doing enough. And I think that's a pretty cool effect. Charlotte already thanked Adina, but I also want to call out Desiree and Alicia, who had a lot to do with the success of this event as well. Just stand up. Adina, you as well. And so I invite you all to refreshments in the art gallery. You just walk out here, and there's a photo shoot opportunities in the tropical preview room, and the inside of the aquarium is open until 9. And you can enjoy some of the exhibits inspired by these films while you walk around. What'd I forget?
Thank you all for being here. I just want to invite all of the students who won awards this evening to come to the Tropical Preview Gallery. You'll have professional photos taken, and we'll be getting those your way. So as soon as we exit, just walk out to the right, and we'll get you set up for photos. Thank you.